Sergeant Neville?
Yes?
Right. I'm going to ask those present to identify themselves. I am Detective Inspector Donahue, P Division.
Chief Inspector Shade, Q Division.
Detective Sergeant Neville, Q Division.
Thank you. Detective Sergeant Neville, do you wish to be legally represented during this interview?
No, sir.
Sergeant Neville, I understand you've been told about the discovery of your mother's body early yesterday.
Yes.
And you know something of the circumstances.
Well, that she was drowned, yes. What I don't understand is why I wasn't told sooner. And what about my father?
Sergeant Neville will have time to ask questions later. What else do you know about your mother's death?
Nothing. Well, the Chief Inspector told me her body had been washed up beside McEnroy's Point. That's all I know. I have a right to see her, and I don't know why
It's all right, Sergeant. Just answer Inspector Donahue's questions.
You know your mother was murdered, Sergeant?
Murdered?
Yes. She sustained a fractured skull, among other injuries, before being put into the water.
Oh, God.
I wonder if you can tell us anything about that. Sergeant Neville?
What?
Your mother's murder, Sergeant. What can you tell us?
I don't understand.
Sergeant, there's...
No, wait a minute. I've just been told my mother's dead, and now I'm being accused of her murder. Is that what this is all about? I don't believe this.
You had a rather strained relationship with your parents.
Is that a question?
All right, yes, it is.
Answer the question, Sergeant.
Were you on bad terms with either of your parents?
No.
Is that the truth?
We had our differences. They weren't the easy... We got on all right.
Okay. Let's talk about your uncle, the late Claude Neville. How did you get on with him?
Oh, God, not this again. I've been through all this with Central Police.
You had a good relationship with him?
Yes.
You were a regular caller at his house?
I suppose so. The family kept in touch.
But you wouldn't necessarily stay at his house overnight, for example?
No.
Hardly worth it, so close to Glasgow. Yes?
Yes.
But you have on occasion stayed in a hotel in Stirling.
Oh, I see now. You've been doing your homework, haven't you?
Sergeant Neville.
Answer the question, please.
Yes, I've stayed in a hotel.
And one of those occasions happened to be about the time of your uncle's death in suspicious circumstances.
You know that.
I also know you refused to give Central Police any reason for your presence in Stirling at that time.
As far as I know, Inspector, I wasn't breaking any law.
Did you visit your uncle that week?
I did not.
Really? Isn't that a bit odd? You could easily have looked in on him.
I could have looked in on him any time. I've told you we kept in touch. Sometimes my father, sometimes myself.
Yes, but it's your visits we're interested in. I mean, Stirling's practically just up the road, isn't it? 3/4 of an hour's drive. Yet you booked into a hotel. I'm not surprised Central Police had their suspicions.
And that's all they had, Inspector. Now, if you have anything
We're
more...
talking about 3 murders now, Sergeant Neville, and that's one hell of a lot of suspicion.
What do you mean, 3 murders?
Your Uncle Claude, your mother, your father's still missing, but we'll find him, you do know that. You also know it's in your own best interest to confess and not prolong this.
Confess? I've got nothing to confess, and if you think you can prove otherwise...
Sergeant Neville, I've known the Fiscal to proceed on a lot less than we have.
Like what?
Motive, for a start. Means and opportunity. You were in the immediate area when your uncle was murdered, and make no mistake, we're still looking for his murderer. And all that stood between his money and you, £500,000, Charlotte, was your own mother and father. That's motive enough, I'd say.
Would you? Would you? Would you kill your parents for $500,000?
Inspector, I wonder if we might take a break. Pace clearly states that an interviewee should be in a fit...
I'm all right.
Okay, Sergeant. Let's talk about your relationship with your parents again. Isn't it true that you blamed them for your brother's suicide?
Yes. I was upset.
Even to the point of wanting your father charged with his murder?
I've told you I was upset. My brother and I were very close. I think my father expected too much of him. My father was a professional soldier, you see. We were army brats, disciplined, stiff upper lip, everything by numbers. Oh, I've turned out well by my father's standards. But Charlie wasn't particularly clever or ambitious, and he wasn't the kind of man's man my father could respect.
What do you mean by that?
Inspector Donahue, my brother's dead. His life, his short life, is no concern of yours or anybody else's. Let's just say that my father has his death on his conscience and leave it at that.
Ah, but you couldn't, could you, Sergeant Neville? You couldn't leave it at that. You had a score to settle.
I've got over it.
Oh, yes, time's a great healer, they say. But you've also had time to plan the ultimate revenge, beginning with your uncle's murder for money. For the £500,000 you now fall heir to with the death of your parents, and that process started, I believe, with that hotel reservation in Stirling, which you can't and won't explain.
Inspector Donahue, I wonder, can we take a break here? I know Sergeant Neville hasn't requested it, but I feel she should have the opportunity to reconsider her position on legal representation.
No, I don't need...
I think she needs some time on her own.
But if she's already... All right. If you think it's necessary.
Thank you.
Okay, interview terminated at the request of Chief Inspector Shade at 09:52.
Right. We'll leave you here for a few minutes, Sergeant Neville. Would you like a coffee?
Please.
We'll go along to my office, Inspector. Resume in what, about 10 minutes?
Fine.
Sergeant Sussock. Yeah, something for me? Sorry, Sarge. I can't stall this guy any longer. He says he's been leaving messages all over the place and nobody calls him back.
God, the financial consultant. Has he seen me?
Afraid so. That's him over there, in the grey suit.
Yeah, and the eager expression. Surprise, surprise. Oh, I'd better see him. What's his name?
Mortimer. Mr. Roy Mortimer.
Right. Mr. Mortimer. A patient man.
Can I come in?
You didn't need to bring the coffee in yourself.
Donahue's in my office. I can't stay.
No.
Lottie, we need to talk. I can't let you go through this on your own. You've got to tell him.
No, I can't. You know what it'll do to you.
I don't care. For God's sake, Lottie, you've got to stop him now, and it's the only way. You have to tell him.
If the worst comes to the worst...
This is the worst. You've got to.
Yeah, sorry it's taken so long, Mr. Mortimer, but we are very busy right now. Have a seat, please. I can't give you much time, I'm afraid. I'm not really into all that investment, etc. My life's a bit too complicated at present.
Oh, no, Mr. Sussock. I'm not here on business. Well, not in that sense. I'm not going to try and sell you a pension plan. Actually, I think I have some information on this missing person case that's been in the papers.
Oh?
This Charles Neville, I think the name is.
Would you like a cup of coffee, Mr. Mortimer?
I wouldn't mind.
Right. Hello, WPC Willems? Yeah. How would you like to join me with a pot of coffee and 3 cups? Eh? Yes, of course you have to bring them in. Thank you. Now then, Mr. Mortimer, what's your connection with Charles Neville?
Right, interview resumed at 10:10 a.m. Present in the room are Detective Sergeant Neville, Chief Inspector Shade, Detective Inspector Donahue. Now, Sergeant Neville, these visits to Stirling, I get the impression that while you may have been on good terms with your uncle, this was not a particularly close family. Would I be right?
I wouldn't say that. I'm not sure what you mean by close.
Could it be that you went there to observe your uncle's movements, to get his watchdogs accustomed to you, to check out the cleaning lady's comings and goings?
No, that's absolutely untrue.
This won't go away, Sergeant. You know that?
Sergeant Neville.
All right. I wasn't in Stirling to visit my uncle.
Sergeant, we already know that. At the time of his death, you were booked into the Wallace Hotel by sheer chance, as you would have us believe, in the same small town under an hour's drive from Glasgow.
That was the whole point, if you must know. I can walk through the centre of Stirling and never see anybody I know. Any Glaswegian can. It was perfect.
I don't understand.
All right, all right. 2 Glaswegians, both serving police officers. Do you get the picture? 2 serving officers, one of them married. A married man with a family in a very senior position.
Sergeant Neville, Are you telling me that you were having an affair? You were meeting someone in Stirling, and you were with this man in the Wallace Hotel at the time of your uncle's death?
Yes.
Are you willing to identify him?
No.
You take sugar, Mr. Mortimer?
No, thank you. This is fine.
So, you're sure this is the same man?
Absolutely. The photograph on the poster was very clear, and it's quite a distinctive face. That's Charles McRae, I'm sure of it. Oh, that isn't his wife, though. She's a much younger woman. French-Canadian, at least that's what she told me.
You've met her?
Oh, yes. They live in Ottawa, apparently. You see, my bank is Canadian, First National Bank of Alberta. We mainly deal with company accounts, but we do have a few individual clients with a minimum deposit of £1,000.
That's minimum.
Yes, small savers aren't really worth our overheads.
Well, that rules me out, then.
Mr. Mortimer, this Mr. McRae, as you know him, is he one of these clients?
Yes. He opened an account with us about 2 years ago, deposited £1,000 and just let it lie. We don't offer favourable interest rates. Most of our clients need a dollar account, either US or Canadian, and ready access, so it's low interest and company accounts in the main.
I see. You know, Mr. Mortimer, I get the feeling there's more to this than the poster. Am I right?
Well, a few months ago, Mr. McRae suddenly became a regular depositor. Virtually every week, large amounts drawn from several different building societies. Sometimes he came in alone, other times with his wife.
The French-Canadian?
A west of Scotland accent, though. Anyway, over a very short time, Mr. McRae deposited nearly £500,000 with us.
Didn't that seem suspicious?
Well, we're not a high street bank. We don't question our customers as closely as they do. And we're quite used to large sums dealing with companies.
But not with individuals?
No. So a couple of days ago, I arrived at work to find an overnight fax from our branch in Ottawa requesting that Mr. McRae's money be wired to them as he and his wife are now resident in Ottawa. It's very remiss of me, I know, but it was only then that I started to do some checking. I mean, it didn't add up. Our interest rate is less than inflation, a good deal less. Why on earth would anybody lodge £500,000 in an account with virtually no growth?
Be as well keeping it under the mattress.
Exactly.
So, what's the explanation, do you think?
I think it's a very clumsy attempt to launder money. Ill-gotten gains, most likely. Well, as you can imagine, I was a bit puzzled. So I started checking, as I say, and the trail took me through practically every building society in Scotland. He had an account in each of them, all in the name of Charles McRae. And he was moving the money in batches of 20 or 30,000 at a time by cheque. He incidentally left £10 in each account as he emptied it. I dare say because that was less trouble than closing it.
And you traced all these?
Well, I'm a wee bit of a bloodhound, really. And to cut a long story short, I eventually found the original source.
And?
The Clydesdale Bank in Gourock. An account in the names of Charles and Charmaine Neville. Cheques drawn on that account were paid into the Forth Valley Building Society to one Charles McRae.
Now resident in Ottawa.
Of course. These cheques and all the others were made payable to McRae and signed by Charles Neville. Anyway, when I noticed that poster and saw the face of somebody I knew as McRae being named as Charles Neville, a missing person, well, that just confirmed my suspicions. Something wasn't right.
No, and that's putting it mildly. Mr. Mortimer, I wish you'd caught up with me sooner.
Well, I know you're a busy man, Sergeant.
It might have saved us some time, and certainly some embarrassment.
Ray, I think you ought to call the inspector at Q Division, don't you?
Oh, God, aye, before any charges are read.
You better do it now.
Yeah. Mr. Mortimer, you wouldn't happen to have a home address for our friend in Ottawa, would you?
I thought you'd want that.
Elka?
Sergeant, we're going round in circles here. You know as well as I do we'll get there in the end. You must give us a name.
I can't do that.
You'd go to prison rather than tell us who you were in Stirling with.
It won't come to that. I'm innocent, that's what matters. He'll come forward if he has to. I know he will. But I don't want that, not yet.
Come in.
Sorry to disturb you, Inspector, but there's a phone call for D.I. Donahue.
From P Division.
A Detective Sergeant Sussex.
Yes, that's one of my team.
He said it was very urgent.
Possibly the missing...
Yes, I'll take it. Right. Interview terminated 10:40.
WPC Willems phoned Ottawa, faxed them the details in a photograph. We didn't think it was a good idea to wait.
In view of the time difference, sir, before he left for work.
Or a golf course, more likely. And they'll respond as soon as they've anything for us.
Yes, sir.
Well, I don't mind admitting I wish we'd seen your man Mortimer sooner.
My fault, sir.
It's not having to apologise to Sergeant Neville, it's what we put her through. And it doesn't get any better, does it?
Hardly. I think it's obvious her father would have let her take the rap. He maybe even knew she was instilling when he dropped that fire into his brother's bath. I presume it was him.
I should think it's a certainty. Long-term plan.
A sleeper account in this bank nearly 2 years before he has the money to fill it. Can you imagine anything more calculated?
Probably started hatching it the minute he decided he would trade in his wife for this younger woman. After that, the murder of his brother. Brother, for God's sake! And then his wife, they were just stepping stones to a new life in Canada. Yes. I take it we've stood down the frogman.
Yes, sir. DC Abernethy's already done that.
Missing person. Missing with intent.
That could be Ottawa now, sir.
The wonders of technology. I hope you've got paper in this thing.
Wasn't that how they got Dr. Crippen, sir? Transatlantic cable.
Uh-huh.
Sir?
Sure it wasn't the Mounties you phoned?
And did you switch the engine off?
No, it was off when I got up here. But I mean, it couldn't be long switched off if you feel the bonnet.
You're in the wrong business, mate.
How do you mean?
You wouldn't have seen this vehicle when it came in.
Nah, you need to ask a night shift man. I'm just newly come on. I just come up with Tope to check what was left overnight, and I see smoke coming out of this Land Rover. Guess it all got too much for him, eh?
Certainly looks like it. You haven't touched anything, have you?
Apart from opening the doors, no. I figured there was nothing a good day except let in some fresh air.
What do you reckon, Phil? Close off this deck completely till the scene of crime boys get through? That should be enough, eh? Yeah, I would think so. You can give us a name for your night shift man, I hope.
Oh, aye, no problem. Do you want me to stand guard like?
Nah, just a line of cones if you don't mind. Block off the entry ramp.
Right, boss.
I hope I haven't kept you lads waiting too long.
No, that's okay, sir.
I hit the Kingston Bridge at peak flow, unfortunately. Flow is maybe the wrong word. Well, you say the engine was off when you arrived.
That's right, sir. And when the attendant found it.
Yeah, it's been running a fair while, judging from the suit on his face and clothes. Wish the doors hadn't been opened. That's going to complicate time of death. Still, looks like a fairly classic case. Rubber hose into the exhaust, seal up the windows, and it's the long sleep. Do we know who the gentleman is?
No, I'm afraid not, sir. We're just waiting for the vehicle reg. He doesn't look a suicide type, does he?
Is there one? No, you're right. He's too casually dressed. Looks a bit like a hippie, if they still say that. Anyway, we won't move him yet. Not till your chaps are finished.
DS Sussex hacking along Great Western Road right now, sir.
Turning the air blue, I dare say. Well, I'll no doubt see him at the PM this afternoon if he wants to attend.
He wouldn't miss it, sir.
According to Swansea, there's another Land Rover registered to the same guy.
So, you get two-car families. It doesn't mean one of them's got to be a Fiat.
Yeah. Anyway, it's registered to a Mr. Crane. Some address in Darkest Yorkshire. He maybe didn't want to top himself on his own patch. If it's him, of course.
Is he on the phone?
Yeah, Elka's been trying for the last hour. No reply. The chief suggested checking out PNC Hendon in case it's a stolen vehicle.
You're practically an old hand at this, Sergeant. Blasé even.
Hardly, sir.
Well, it's a clean corpse. No wounds as far as I can see. And we can probably assume the cause to be the obvious one. Carbon monoxide poisoning. The soot and the uncovered parts of the body would suggest prolonged exposure. It's not as pink as you'd expect, but I'll get a percentage reading shortly.
A safe suicide, would you think?
That would certainly look like it. This was a Land Rover. They used to say these hose pipes came as standard on Saabs and Volvos. It's not true, of course.
Didn't think it was, sir.
You're still trying to identify him, I gather. Well, as you can see, late 20s, early 30s, maybe. Wee bit grubby looking, I'd say. Except, doesn't quite go with the barber jacket. Or the natty waistcoat. Good pair of boots. So the long hair and stubble are by design, I would guess. Yes, good teeth, too. Yes, well cared for. It's not going to be easy establishing time of death. It never is with gas, but there are some outside edges.
I suppose one would be how long it takes that vehicle to run through a full tank.
Yes, another might be how long it takes to breathe in a fatal dose of CO. I'm still puzzled by the colour. That's the classic external symptom, of course.
Is more grey than pink. What actually causes the pink, sir?
Well, the textbooks tend to describe it as cherry red. It's in fact caused by microscopic hemorrhages. Chemistry is fairly straightforward. The hemoglobin in the blood combines much more readily with carbon monoxide than oxygen. Figures vary, but it's anywhere between 200 and 300 times more.
So when the blood's offered a choice, it's no contest?
None whatsoever. Anyway, the resultant compound, carboxyhemoglobin, is incapable of carrying oxygen, and what's called tissue anoxia sets in. You don't smoke, I remember.
No, I gave it up, sir.
Wise move, Sergeant. Your average 20-a-day man or woman will have at least 6% of their hemoglobin permanently saturated with CO.
I think I should have arranged for Phil Hamilton to attend.
Oh, the uniform lad. Heavy smoker, is he?
You could say.
Oh, well. One of the American textbooks claims that just one cigarette reduces the amount of oxygen available to the tissues by about 8%. Your lad's not a hill climber as well?
Not as far as I know.
No, pity. You could have told them that's the equivalent of going straight from sea level to about 4,000 feet. Monroe bagging from the comfort of your armchair, eh? Huh?
Dr. Reynolds, that's the test results ready.
Thank you, Noni. This is what I'm waiting for. 15%. Well, now that is very interesting.
It's not what you expected, sir.
It certainly isn't. It's normally anywhere between 50 and 90%, at least for a fatal outcome. Well, that explains the skin colour. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I'm afraid we're in for a long haul, Sergeant.
So if the gassing isn't the cause of death...
not the only cause of death.
And we might not be looking at a suicide?
No, indeed. And it's my guess you'll want Dr. K down here as well. Ideally, while I'm at my lunch.
Oh?
Wee bit of professional jealousy, Sergeant. It's code for can't abide the woman.
But the main point is it's not Crane, and it needn't necessarily be whoever stole the Land Rover. It's a bit odd, whichever way you look at it.
You mean not reporting the theft, sir?
Doesn't it strike you as odd? Abernethy?
Yes, it does, sir. I mean, he'd have to report it to make an insurance claim. It'd be different if it was some old clapped-out wreck. But this is an F-Reg. It's still a nice motor.
Might be an idea to get some photographs of the tyre prints, just in case. Where did you say the farm was?
In Helmsley, sir. It's off the A170 between Thirsk and Scarborough.
Been at the Gazetteer, then, Abernethy?
No, sir. I used to go on holiday to Filey.
Ah. So he told you the Land Rover had been stolen about 18 months ago?
Yes, sir, and he's replaced it with another of the same.
More money than sense, obviously. Elke, have you anything to add?
No, just that he was very abrupt on the phone. When I told him who I was, WPC and so on, he didn't want to believe me. At least that's what I took you what twice to mean. Not exactly your new man.
Well, we'll have to identify our dead man pretty soon. Ray Sussex just called in from the GRI, and Dr. Reynolds doesn't think it's suicide now. Or if it is, there's some interesting trimmings.
Dr. K, I wasn't asking for your report. It's just that we know who owns the vehicle, and that's about it. And Dr. Reynolds thinks it might not be suicide.
Goodness, committed himself that far, has he?
If you can give us anything at all.
You are not an outdoor person, Mr. King?
Sorry?
Rambling? Hill walking?
You don't indulge? Here, sniff this.
Oh.
It's what we forensic scientists call sheep dung. Fairly new and not unpleasant. You don't agree?
No, it's just...
And there are enough grass seeds in his trouser turn-ups to sow a small lawn. Where was the body found?
In the multi-storey at Cambridge Street.
Well, it's possible your man exercises his flock in cow caddens, but I'd say he drove in from the country.
Or was driven.
Indeed. What do you make of these panels on the waistcoat?
Very nice. What are they? Embroidered?
No, they're woven, then appliqued. What you're looking at, Mr. King, is untreated sheep's wool. People gather it from fencing and so on, spin it and weave it, though not usually to this standard. Anyway, I'd say your man preferred handmade to shop-bought, and probably lived in sheep country.
Oh, well, in Scotland, that narrows it down, doesn't it?
Aye, I thought I'd look in on my way up to the Western. I can't give you the paperwork just yet. Noreen's having a late lunch, I'm afraid. But there is some new material. The stomach contents are actually quite interesting.
Oh.
Yes, for a start, it's likely your man was not only vegetarian, but possibly vegan. Certainly a very restricted diet. No meat or dairy. Just this side of malnutrition, I would have said, but not your common or garden third world sort.
No. Well, no, his clothes would seem to rule out poverty, at least the unfashionable kind.
Well, there were a fair number of different pulses and evidence of some exotic herbal infusion. His bladder was full of the stuff, had the place smelling like a Chinese grocer's. I've put out a call to a lady herbalist in Edinburgh. I'll let you know as soon as she's looked at it.
Oh, well, I'm sure it'll all come together eventually.
Oh, I hope so. Anyway, Mr. Donahue, I've saved the best to the last, and since it probably has the status of evidence as distinct from a body part, I put it in a wee bottle. Brought it with me.
Paper?
Aye. A bit distressed, you'll notice, but not really chewed. Found this at the back of the deceased's gullet, and I would guess it was pushed there. There are some abrasions to support that, but if the deceased swallowed this of his own free will, then we'd also expect to find it much further down. In other words, this paper was thrust down his throat when he was already dead or too weak to resist.
You think it could be a message?
Aye. And not from an admirer.
It's
complicated.
Right then, settle down, please. Where's Montgomery?
Sir, we couldn't contact him this morning. He's on back shift this week. It's possible he's out of reach.
Suppose that means he's buried his radio under a pile of discarded garments. Anyway, case review. Ray, would you like to summarise?
All right, sir. Deceased is a man in his late 20s, found in an abandoned Land Rover after an apparent suicide. Time of death somewhere between late evening Tuesday the 27th and early next morning. Post-mortem indications suggest another cause of death, possibly in addition to the vehicle exhaust gases.
And Dr. Reynolds has now confirmed that in writing?
Yes, sir. As far as the identity of the victim is concerned, there's strong evidence that he was recently in a country location. His dress and possibly also his diet would suggest that he wasn't your stereotype city embezzler. And that's about it.
And there's nothing in missing persons?
No, sir. I mean, given it's an adult male, it's a bit early to expect a report.
I suppose so. Well, Dr. Reynolds is pursuing the diet factor, for what that's worth. Have you spoken to Dr. Kay again, Richard?
No, sir. I phoned Pitt Street, but she's out teaching somewhere. I'll try again, see what she can make out of the message in the bottle.
And apart from the forensics, the only precise data is on the Land Rover, right?
Yes, sir. Registered to one Arthur Crane of Rybeck Farm, Helmsley, North Yorks. Stolen in March or April of last year.
And not reported. Replaced with another of the same, but not notified to either police or insurance.
Sir, I wish I hadn't mentioned stereotypes, but that defies logic, surely.
How do you mean?
Well, that a Yorkshireman would write off an F-Reggie Land Rover.
I'm inclined to agree. How about the local force? Have we checked with them?
Oh, yes, sir. I know a desk sergeant down that way at Pickering.
We were on a course at Hendon a few years back. He says they're well respected locally. A few hundred acres, nearest neighbour 6 or 7 miles. And that's how they like it.
Did he say that?
Well, between the lines.
Mm-hmm. So, is this Crane person married?
Yes, and they have a grown-up daughter, apparently.
I can't buy the disposable Land Rover either. I think we should talk to Mr. Crane. You've got a foothold down there, Ray. I think you should go. How do you feel about that? WPC Willems can accompany you.
Well, if you think I should, sir.
Sir, if the sergeant's busy...
Watch it, Abernethy.
That's obviously the replacement vehicle. I must have set him back a few bob.
For heaven's sake, don't get out, Ray. Not till somebody appears.
No intention. Come on, come on. I mean, he knows we're coming. He should have had that animal chained up.
Oh, this'll be him now. They say people grow to look like their pets.
Some pet. Right, Ilka, let's go.
That's enough! Rufus! Get down!
Mr. Crane?
Aye?
We spoke on the phone. Detective Sergeant Sussex. This is WPC Films. You think we could go inside? I think you should chain that dog up.
You can come inside if you want, but the dog minds the yard.
Yes, well, I don't think you're going to be burgled with a police car sitting outside.
Are you coming in or what? Rufus! Stay!
Old world charm.
So, you know why we're here, Mr. Crane? I'm sorry, I take it this is Mrs. Crane.
That's right.
Hello? Hello.
You had a Land Rover stolen about 18 months ago, I believe, and you haven't reported it.
Am I bound to?
Sorry?
Is it the law? Am I bound to report it?
Mr. Crane, I'm curious to know why you'd replace a stolen vehicle without reporting its loss to either the police or your insurers. I mean, most people would consider that a great deal of money.
I can afford it. Any road. If you've found it now, I'll be pleased to take it back.
And no questions asked.
Mr. Crane, don't you want to know where your car was found?
In Glasgow, wasn't it?
Look, sir, can you tell us anything about the theft of your car? I mean, when exactly did it happen? Were you at home at the time? Was it at night? Mrs. Crane?
I don't know. I can't say.
It's not to do with her.
Mr. Crane, would it make any difference if I told you that your vehicle was connected with a serious crime?
No. Should it?
All right, sir, we'll leave it for now. You will let us know if you remember anything, won't you?
Aye.
I'll see you to the door.
You'll stay there. The dog. It'll need sorting.
They're not exactly flinging it around. That kitchen looked like the button being out of the brooms.
The what?
Take too long to explain. I wouldn't doubt he's got money, though. It's no fun being a miser without it.
Anyway, I'm dying for a cup of tea. Shall we have Ceylon or Darjeeling?
Helka, my taste buds have withered. I'll leave it to you.
Yes, madam. What would you like?
We'll have a pot of Darjeeling for 2, please. Cinnamon toast and a fat rascal.
Thank you, ma'am.
A what?
Take too long to explain.
OK. Look, come on, what is it?
It's a Yorkshire speciality. A rich fruit scone, delicious with butter or preserves.
I didn't know you'd been down here.
Ray, dearest, I've been a lot of places, and some even had menus.
Well, I was preoccupied. Anyway, what do we make of these two? I see what you mean about new man.
I think we should have another try.
You think so?
And it's not just to wangle the overnight.
No, of course not. It's a bit late to start back anyhow. You think Donohue's matchmaking? WPC Willems can accompany you. I mean, how much does he know?
Ray, that's quaint. You'd need to be blind, surely. By the way, did you notice Mrs. Crane's face when you mentioned the serious crime? She looked panic-stricken. It's the only time she came to life. I think she knows more than she's saying.
That wouldn't be difficult. Yeah, she did offer to see us out.
I'm sure she'd talk, if we can get him out of the way.
And Rufus the dog, preferably.
How well do you know this desk sergeant at Pickering?
Ah, no. There's a thought.
There we are, sir. 1 cinnamon toast and 1 fat rascal.
Thank you.
I have got something for you. Maybe won't help you identify your man, but it will help you convict, I think, when you put the rest together.
Huh? It's definitely murder.
Indeed it is, Mr. Donahue. Most foul. You'll recall my noting that the carboxyhemoglobin count was extremely low.
Yes.
I mean, 15% isn't enough to cause death, so it's a fair assumption that some other substance was involved.
So you think our man might have been drugged?
Well, this is the interesting thing. You remember the bladder contents, the herbal infusion I mentioned?
Yes.
Well, my young lady in Edinburgh has done a very thorough job on that, and it's turned out to be a quite extraordinary mix. You certainly couldn't pick it off the shelf in Holland and Barrett's. Anyway, she's furnished a list, and as you'll see, she's starred a couple of key items.
Thank you. Beristica... fragrance?
Fragrance.
Yes. What's that?
Oh, you've probably had some of that yourself. Sprinkled in your custard. Nutmeg.
Nutmeg?
Mm-hmm. It's a very interesting narcotic. Similar properties to cannabis. A wee drop on your pudding is one thing, but 10 or 20 grams will transport you to some very strange places.
Good God, we've got some of that at home.
Well, it's not a controlled substance, but there have been a few deaths from overdosing.
Yeah.
It attacks the liver and kidneys. Oh, and it's also been used to procure abortions.
So our man was poisoned with nutmeg.
No. This is the other thing. My Edinburgh ladies, in fact, starred another item down near the bottom. Datura stramonium.
So, what's that?
Well, I don't think you'll have that in your spice rack. It's sometimes called the devil's weed. Belongs to the same plant family as deadly nightshade. Oh, if you were to eat a Kerr's pink, let's say, in its green state, you'd get a dose of the same poison.
The wonders of the kitchen. We live and learn.
Well, in this particular case, the toxic agent would appear to be this devil's weed, as I've said. Miss Jimison tells me it's occasionally grown as an ornamental plant. Quite pretty, really. Either white or violet flowers, a prickly sort of fruit. In fact, it's more commonly known as a thorn apple. People used to smoke the dried leaves as a remedy for asthma. Foul-smelling stuff, too. Could empty a room quicker than
this pipe, yes, I can imagine. So how does it work?
Well, as an asthma remedy, it's an antispasmodic. It damps down the coughing reflex. But chemically, it's a combination of various alkaloids, mainly atropine and hyoscine. It produces a hypnotic effect accompanied by hallucinations. I'm told there's even a wee nest of Datura addicts down in Cornwall somewhere.
It's all perfectly legal, I suppose.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
So, Dr. Reynolds, if I'm reading this right, our man might well have been drugged with this herbal tea, whatever it was, to a point where he couldn't put up any resistance.
And the Land Rover exhaust did the rest, yes. Oh, incidentally, a wee bit of folklore on the thorn apple is that it's an aphrodisiac. It's what they used to say about cigarette ash, a spoonful in your tea and your anybody's.
Thanks. I'll be careful where I knock out my pipe.
Anyway, Mr. Donahue, you might not know the identity of your victim, but he certainly wasn't picked out at random.
So, what sort of a wild goose chase do you call this, eh?
Now then, Mr. Crane, there's no need to get aerated. We're only observing procedures.
Procedures? They could have asked me for these out at farm. You said the car was here.
No, sir, no, I didn't. I think you must have misunderstood me. I said you'd have your vehicle returned once we'd verified your documents.
Which you've done. So where's my car, eh? I've come all the way in here to sign this stupid piece of paper.
Mr. Crane, if you'd reported the theft at the time, you might have got your vehicle back a lot sooner.
Don't you tell me my business.
Mr. Sussex right, you know. I can't understand why you let it lie this long. Now it's been linked to a serious crime. And to be honest, Mr. Crane, God knows when you'll get it back.
Aye, well, we'll see about that. And I'll thank you not to blaspheme. You could have told me all this at the house, you know. It didn't take two of you wasting my time. And where's the other one, eh? Where's she?
The dog will be all right indoors. Rufus, isn't it?
He'll be fine.
Mrs. Crane, I got the feeling there was something you wanted to say yesterday. There was, wasn't there?
You mentioned something about a crime.
That's right.
A serious crime, you said.
Yes.
Look, I don't remember your name, but my husband could be back from Pickering at any time.
Willems. WPC Willems. Mrs. Crane, you do appreciate that I can't give you any details, not unless you can tell me.
It's my daughter. She's dead, isn't she? It's her, I knew it. I knew something like this would happen. Oh, my God. He drove her out. It's his fault. She couldn't take any more.
Mrs. Crane, who drove her out? I don't understand what you're saying.
My daughter, Emma, she took the car. She ran off in it. He won't even let me mention her name. Child of Satan, that's what she is. She's not our daughter. Oh, he doesn't care what happens to her. And now she's dead. Oh, my.
Mrs. Crane, Mrs. Crane, please, listen. Your daughter's not dead. We don't know anything about your daughter.
What?
Your Land Rover was found in Glasgow 4 days ago with a body of a man in it. Possibly a suicide, but with no reason to believe it has anything to do with your daughter.
She's safe? Emma's still alive?
Mrs. Crane, we don't even know who this man is. That's why we need your help. Anything you can tell us, please. You said Emma took the Land Rover when she left the house. I mean, why didn't your husband report it?
Oh, you don't understand. You just don't understand, do you? Emma was lost to us. She was lost to God, damned to all eternity. The minute she took up with those people, she let Satan into her soul. She weren't ours any longer.
What people, Mrs. Crane?
But I gave birth to her. I can't just... He says it's weakness. The weakness of the flesh.
Mrs. Crane, took up with what people? Did she go away with somebody?
She met them in York. The streets are full of them. The guitars and the wickedness. And they took her from us. Took her out of God's shining light.
Emma ran off with some sort of religious sect. Is that what happened? Mrs. Crane, who were they? What were they called? Can you tell me anything about them? Mrs. Crane, your daughter could be at risk.
I think they call themselves the children of Elim, doing Satan's work. They took my daughter, and I can't even grieve for her. Do you know what that's like? No, you wouldn't. Here, take this. She was 16 in that. She'll be 19 next month. You'd better go now.
Thank you for your help, Mrs. Crane. Please, try not to worry.
Miss... you won't lose that, will you?
Thank God it's come through some genuine police work.
Well, the idea came from WPC Willems, sir. I knew the local man, certainly.
It was a team effort, Ray. The right people for the job. Isn't that so, Montgomery?
Yeah? Absolutely, sir. Yes. Well done, Elka.
Thank you.
Anyway, Ray, the forensics looking good. You'll find the reports on your pigeonhole. Abernethy will fill you in on the detail. As you'll see, we're looking at not only premeditated here, but planned to the nth degree.
Sir, have we got anything else from Dr. Kay?
No, I think you should take a run down to Pitt Street, jog her elbow. She may be a great forensic chemist, but she makes the mills of God sound like Warp Drive.
Warp Drive? I didn't know you were a Trekkie, sir.
No. That's going to be your job, Montgomery. I want you to cover the city centre, all the precincts and shopping malls, see if you can make contact with one of these alien life forms, a child of Elim. Take a copy of the photograph, but don't wave it around, all right?
Yes, sir.
Montgomery?
Yes, sir?
What are you waiting for?
Oh, right. Right. I'm not here.
Hello. Would you like to buy a copy of our magazine? It's in aid of world peace.
I'm not sure. What's it called?
It's called Anima, the Spirit. Peace on earth through the work of the Spirit. That's the only lasting peace.
Yeah. How much is it?
Well, it's 50p, but you can give whatever you like. It's non-profit making. Everything we make goes into spreading God's message. Would you like a copy?
Yeah. Can I have a look at it?
Are you a believer? Do you accept God's word?
Well, I don't know, I suppose.
You shouldn't be embarrassed. If you've lost your faith, you can find it again. I know, believe me.
How do you know I want to find it?
Well, you've walked past here at least 3 times in the last hour. It's obvious God's speaking to you, guiding your ways.
Possibly. I didn't think you'd notice me. It's very busy.
God directs my ways too. I can tell when people are searching.
Well, I could have been searching for cut-price denims like everybody else.
I don't think so.
That's nice. You have a very infectious laugh.
Really? That's because I'm happy.
You know, I'm almost tempted to ask what a nice girl like you is doing in a place like this, but I'll refrain, I think.
You see? You've resisted temptation.
Or maybe you've already answered. What's your name?
Alison. You were going to look at our magazine.
Oh, I'll take one. This might be just what I need.
It could change your life.
Listen, it's not that Reverend Sun Moon stuff, is it? What do they call themselves? The One World something or other?
No, we're nothing to do with them. We're called the Children of Ellen.
Ellen, I see. And you're not connected with the Moonies? I mean, they've had some terrible publicity. Now, what exactly do the Children of Ellen believe?
Well...
Alison, sorry, I'll tell you what, you've been standing here for hours. You must be desperate for a cup of tea or something.
Oh, no, I don't drink tea. I'm sorry.
Well, look, there's Henderson's just up the road. You can get herbal tea or an orange juice or whatever. Alison, I'm not trying to chat you up. I'm serious. I mean, you could see that yourself even before I did.
All right.
You're not too impressed?
No. It's all right. It's been made from dried leaves, though it's probably been in store for years. The fresh has a different taste altogether.
What do you mean? Do you grow your own herbs?
Well, gather them mostly.
I wouldn't know them from weeds, I'm afraid.
Most of them are. Well, at least people think of them as weeds. But it's surprising what's underneath your feet. I mean, in the countryside. Early morning's the best time to gather. I think of it as a kind of morning prayer.
Well, that's interesting. You know, I've never met anybody like you.
Really? I'm sure that's not true.
Alison, are you going to be in the same place tomorrow? I mean, once I've read this, I'll probably...
No, I can't.
It's almost certain. I don't know how to explain it, but I have the feeling that this is a kind of turning point, you know?
That's God speaking to you. Yes.
So, if I want to know more...
God will guide your steps if you let him. I won't be here. I have to go back to the children tomorrow.
When?
First thing. I have to catch the early bus. To be quite honest, I'll be glad to leave the city. But we all have to take turns. We share everything.
A sort of commune, is it?
We're family, yes. You haven't finished your tea.
Oh, right. What was it again?
Raspberry leaf. It's a mild diuretic, actually.
That explains it. Look, would you wait a second while I pay a call?
Well, I'll have to go soon.
I'll be 2 minutes, that's all. By the way, my name's Malcolm. Malcolm Montgomery. I don't know your second name.
It doesn't matter. I don't use it.
I'd like to know.
Well, it's Tresize.
Huh? Okay. I'll be right back. Don't go away.
I might have known. Montgomery, what on earth possessed you to let her go? Why didn't you call in for some backup?
Sir, I was certain she would wait. All right, I made a mistake, but honestly, I was only gone 2 minutes.
Well, obviously, Miss Tresize has a shorter waiting time than you're accustomed to. I expect my officers to keep their mind on the job, and I'm very disappointed here.
I'm sorry, sir.
Ray, what can we salvage out of this? We know her name, we know she's leaving the city first thing tomorrow. What else have we got? Anybody?
Sir, it's a pretty unusual name, isn't it? There's a folk singer called Tresize. I think it's a Cornish name.
Yes, I'm sure it is. And Dr. Reynolds said something about some sort of drug cult in Cornwall. That's worth keeping in mind. What else?
Well, short of posting uniforms at every bus terminus, the trouble is we don't know what she looks like. A new age backpacker, they're everywhere.
Yeah, well, Montgomery knows what she looks like, of course. I dare say he could draw her freehand.
Oh, sir, I really
That's sarcasm, Montgomery.
Sir, it's just a thought, but if DC Montgomery still has the pamphlet she gave him...
I haven't had time to read it, sir. I came straight in.
What I was going to say, sir, is it might have a printer's address on it somewhere.
Well, let's see it.
Sir, if I can get a chance to explain, I really didn't want to blow my cover. She's no idea I'm a cop, and if I'd asked her where the commune
Printed by D.L. Chapman, Perth. Right, Montgomery.
Yes, sir.
Take Hamilton and Piper with you, plain clothes, give them a detailed rundown on this young lady, not just the colour of her eyes, and cover everything going near Perth from sun-up tomorrow. Have you got that?
Yes, sir.
If she spots you, you'd better have a good chat-up line. Stay in radio contact with DC King. Richard, I'm putting you on this as well, but keep a discreet distance.
Sir.
We cannot afford to lose this one.
Phil, just stay there. Keep out of sight. I think I've spotted them. I know, I've seen them. They're getting on the Creeth bus. She clocked Montgomery just as he came round the back. I think he was trying to slip on while she was stowing away her rucksack. Where's DC King? Did she give him an argument? Are you kidding? A woman give Montgomery an argument? She's a neat-looking bird. For all her head might be up a beehive. Anyway, we'd better call in. Let them know we've picked her up. And Montgomery's on his way. Oh, God, that's them going. Where the hell's King? Have you got a note of the number? Hey, watch what you're doing! Mr. King, that's them in that bus. I know. I'll follow them up. God, that's all I need. Playing gooseberry to Montgomery. Aye, you might learn a few things.
Don't you ever stop for a rest? You can walk for Britain.
If you're walking for the Lord, you never feel tired.
You've obviously recovered. I mean, you look like death on the bus.
Oh, just travel sick. It was nothing.
Listen, how much further is it? I know I have to leach all that junk food out of my system, but right now the hot dogs are barking.
Look, have some of this.
What is it?
Try it. It's sorrel. It's quite refreshing.
But you're really into all this, aren't you? Actually, it's not bad. A bit like green apples.
You see? It's not much further now. Just over that hill.
Alison, you're sure you don't mind me coming with you? I mean, maybe the children will object.
You didn't give me much choice, as I remember.
Well, I need to change my life. I don't know, I just feel lost. I mean, I have a good job, I live well enough, I suppose. But I just feel empty, spiritless.
You didn't say what you did.
Well, I'm a lawyer, actually.
Really?
But nothing exciting, property, conveyancing and so on. And I suppose the children will take a dim view of that sort of stuff.
We all bring what we can. We put our talents at his disposal.
What about yourself?
Me? I was a student, Falmouth Art College. Oh, seems a long time ago.
Oh, it can't be that long. So, anyway, do you think I'll be able to stay for a while?
I can't say. It's not my decision.
You'd let me stay, though.
No, I probably wouldn't. But Joshua will decide.
You haven't mentioned Joshua. Who's he? Listen, I'm not going to wind up being a human sacrifice, am I? I mean, I've seen these films.
Look, that's the greenhouse now, just at the side of the hill. You can see the glass sparkling. We'll soon be there.
Well, the minute I see a bonfire, I'm off.
Don't care. It was a stupid thing to do. Where is he now? Where have you left him?
He's outside. He's in the greenhouse. Anyway, I didn't see what all the fuss was about.
You don't see anything, Alison. You never do.
What's the matter with everybody? Where's Joshua?
Emma, you'd better tell her.
Tell me what? What's going on?
What's he doing in the greenhouse?
Emma, for heaven's sake. What is it? Where's Ted?
Ted's gone.
What do you mean, gone?
He's left us. He's taken the Land Rover and cleared off.
What? I don't believe this.
Well, you'd better. He's stolen all the money as well.
It's the truth, Alison. Everything's gone. He must have slipped out in the night.
There was £700 in the box and now there's nothing.
I don't understand. When did this happen?
It was after you left for Glasgow. Ted was complaining of not feeling well.
We had a prayer meeting in the evening, an invocation,
Joshua wanted us all to get in touch, to draw down the spirit for you.
It obviously worked.
Emma. Anyway, Ted didn't join in. He said he needed to sleep.
What about Joshua?
Joshua led us, and we drew down the spirit. It was better than ever. Wonderful. I just can't believe what Ted's done.
He'll be punished.
Didn't anybody see him? I mean, how could he just disappear?
We were in touch, Alison. That was all that mattered. You could feel the spirit everywhere, shining into every corner. Oh, I don't know. Maybe Ted was holding us back. Maybe it's better he's gone.
Oh, don't be so stupid, Miriam. He's taken the car and the money, hasn't he?
Emma, these things don't matter. I'm sure that's what Joshua would tell us.
We don't know what Joshua would tell us.
Where is he? Joshua went into the wilderness to pray for guidance.
Emma, he should be here. We need him.
He needs to be by himself. Absolute solitude. That's what he told me.
We haven't seen him since Tuesday, since the invocation.
I saw him.
In the spirit. Did he come to you afterwards?
I spoke with him in the morning when we discovered Ted was missing.
Emma, I don't like this. I don't like any of this.
Joshua wants us to stay calm. Pray together, to go on as normal.
Where is he? Oh, my God,
Shut up, all of you! Alison, get rid of that man. Oh, how could you be so stupid? Get rid of him now, do you hear?
Come on, Richard. Where the hell are you? Richard, come in, please. Papa Delta Tango, this is Papa Delta Foxtrot. Come in, please. Can you hear me?
Papa Delta Foxtrot, this is Papa Delta Tango, reading you loud and clear.
Well, thank God for that. Right, OK, Richard, I'm in a sort of conservatory. It's like Mrs. Beaton's kitchen garden, except she didn't cook with marijuana.
What? You're joking?
Yeah, I think I recognise that thorn apple stuff. Either that or it's the Bluebells of Scotland. Listen, Richard, I haven't much time. They're having some sort of a meeting inside the house right now. I've managed to prowl around a bit and there's about 7 or 8 of them. I can only see the one bloke, but there's enough women to overpower me if they took a notion.
You wish.
Anyway, we'll need backup. Are you beside a phone?
I'm in Crieff. There's one in the hotel bedroom.
Well, listen, check this out with Donahue. I'm nearly certain the Land Rover's been here. There's tracks matching the photos everywhere. I can pull these people in for the horticulture, but I'm still waiting for an invite. I'm making some headway with a waif, I think, which might be a bit... Oh, Jesus.
What is it? What's happened? Malcolm, Papa Delta Foxtrot, can you hear me? Papa Delta...
Mobile phone?
Well, a lawyer, eh? Was that some conveyancing you were doing?
Look, Alison, you people could be in deep trouble. I think you'd be as well to cooperate.
I know.
Eh?
There's something wrong. You're police?
Yeah.
I think we need help.
Thanks to the Australian police, but if Mr. Connolly's been out of circulation there, it could be a long haul. Meanwhile, let's say the Tresize girl's the prime suspect. She drives out of the commune in the small hours, let's say, while the rest are presumably on another planet after this, invocation session.
Do we know if she can drive, sir? I mean, she certainly can't travel. We had to stop the car 3 times for her on the road down.
Well, that doesn't necessarily follow.
So, she's Lucrezia Borgia. She had the means and the experience supplying these people with God knows what head medicine on a regular basis. She had the opportunity, as Abernethy says. How does she get him out of the house without being spotted?
Well, if they're all bombed out their skulls, she just hides out somewhere in the hills and slips back. According to, what's her name, Emma, Ted left the festivities early, so she could have got to him on his own.
Precisely calculated doses. Connolly has an attack of nausea, the rest drift off into oblivion. Alison returns with a soothing beverage. Is that it?
Actually, she told D.C. Montgomery her mother was a white witch down in Cornwall somewhere.
I can believe it. Ray, you've been interviewing her. What's the subtext?
Well, WPC Willems is still talking to her, but she's been very forthcoming. My gut feeling is she's either telling the truth or else she's a state hospital case.
Which could be both. If she can believe this Joshua creature is the Messiah, you've got to question her sanity. But you don't think it's her?
No, sir.
That's interesting. Neither does Montgomery. What about Joshua?
Well, he doesn't really come into the frame, sir, if he was seen the morning after Connolly's disappearance. Physically, it's possible he could have made it to Glasgow and back, but one of the girls, Sarah Bradley, swears he spent the whole night with her after the invocation.
What the tabloids would call group sex. Ray, I think you should pass on Miss Tresize's explanation for the DC's benefit. It's quite something.
Oh, yes. Well, according to Alison, 2 or 3 times a week she would be asked to make up a chalice for the invocation. This was to prepare the children to receive the Spirit, but it seems to have been a sort of cross between Holy Communion and an LSD trip. All perfectly legal substances, incidentally. She says they grew the marijuana for sale only, and that was Ted's idea. She didn't approve.
Yes. Tell them about celibacy, Ray.
Yes, apparently the children at Velam are strictly celibate. Separate rooms, no naughties, or you go to the backfire.
So what about this Sarah, the one who spent the night with Charlie Manson?
Ah, well, you see, this is where faith can move mountains. According to Alison, when the spirit descends on them, the physical body becomes a hollow shell. It's not even alive, it's just an object. She's off in outer space somewhere with the spirit, and the empty vessel's left behind. And of course, in that state, it doesn't matter what happens to the body, it can be filled with whatever Joshua decides.
Including himself, you mean?
And presumably the other men, yes. Sex without guilt. Alison believes she's still a virgin.
Well, we could be talking about drug-assisted rape, and Dr. Reynolds would probably support that, but I'm not sure we could make it stick. Did Montgomery volunteer to stay on in Crieff? Just worried in case he joins them.
Well, sir... Well, sir, that was my decision. Hamilton and Piper are with him watching the house. I thought we might get more out of Alison if we removed her from the group.
How much do they know?
Very little, sir. As far as they're concerned, Connolly was a suicide and Alison's helping with our inquiries.
But you don't seem upset.
Why should I be? It's better for him, I've got to believe that, haven't I?
Alison, were you in love with Ted?
I don't know what you mean.
You said you slept with him.
I didn't say that.
Well, at the invocation, Ted would choose you. Your body, if you want to put it that way. Is that correct?
And others, yes.
The other women? What about Emma Crane, say?
No, she would only receive Joshua.
Is she in love with Joshua?
Why do you keep asking that? You don't understand.
Alison, I'm trying to. Does Joshua choose other...
Yes, of course, Joshua has to. We all need him.
But Emma won't receive anyone else.
No.
Does Joshua ever choose you?
Yes. Sometimes. I'm sorry, can we stop now? I need to go to the bathroom.
Yes, of course. Interview terminate. Alison, do you think you might be pregnant?
Yes.
Do you know who the father is?
Yes. It's Joshua.
You're sure about that? Alison, how do you know it's Joshua?
I know.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, that wouldn't be tea you're making. I mean, ordinary tea.
Well, there's some. That cupboard. You can help yourself.
Thanks.
I thought you were finished with us.
Well, more or less. Where's everybody?
Well, they'll be here.
Emma, I've had word from the station. Did you know Alison was pregnant? Sorry, can I help?
It's all right. I'll get it.
Did you know?
No.
What'll happen to her? I mean, that's forbidden, isn't it?
She'll have to leave, yeah?
Do you think it could have anything to do with Ted's suicide? Alison was close to Ted, wasn't she?
This is a close family, Mr. Montgomery.
You know, I can't figure it out. If Ted took all the money, let's say planning to clear off, possibly with Alison, why would he then commit suicide?
You don't believe. Sin's just a word to you.
What? You think it was guilt, maybe? We didn't find any money, Emma. Is it possible he could have given the money to Alison for an abortion?
Well, you'll have to ask Alison, won't you?
What's going on? Is something up?
Actually, we've asked Alison quite a lot, including who the father is. She says it's Joshua.
Emma.
I don't believe
Oh, all things are possible, if you have faith. Anyway, we need to know the whereabouts of this Joshua. If you're protecting him, be warned, you could all face charges, very serious charges. We've strong grounds for suspecting that Ted Connolly's death wasn't suicide, and if this man's involved, you could be charged with aiding and abetting. Do you understand? You were the last person to see him, according to Alison. You told her he'd gone into the wilderness. What exactly does that mean? Come on, Emma. I want some answers.
Emma? Oh, look. Joshua used to go into the wilderness often, but that's what he called it. He had a special place. None of us was allowed to go there. It was forbidden.
So nobody knows where it is? Is that the truth?
It was forbidden to women. Women would make it unclean.
What does that mean?
Well...
Come on.
Shut up!
Joshua sometimes took other people.
Ted?
Yes.
No women?
No.
What about you? Have you been there?
Yes.
Oh, I might have known.
Emma, but what is it?
I can take you to it. It's a sort of shallow cave under the hill. I don't know how it's pronounced. I think it's called Knockbeath.
Right, let's go. And don't anybody try to leave. You're being watched.
A page from the Bible? Really?
Yes, sir. According to Dr. Kay, it's good quality paper, so she could make out a few phrases, just about enough to look up in a concordance. Anyway, she thinks it's from Leviticus chapter 20. She photocopied the page.
I wonder why all these weirdos read Leviticus. It's either Leviticus or Revelations. What's up with the Song of Solomon? And what do you make of it yourself?
Well, given it was shoved down a man's throat, I'd say this passage, what is it, verse 13, I'd say this looks interesting.
If a man also lie with mankind, as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. I think you might have something there, Richard.
What's Montgomery up to? Do you recognise the guy he's with? Here, take a look. It'll be one of the children. He's possibly taking him somewhere. Oh, thanks, Phil. That's obvious. He could be taking him round the back for a swift kicking. No, looking up that track. Anyway, he's got his radio. Aye, and how long would it take us to come to his assistance? He'll be out of sight in a minute. I'm just obeying orders. He's got the rank. Hang on. What's that? Jesus, it's all go. Let's have a look. That's one of the women, and she's carrying something. She's doing a runner. They go out the front, and she's off her mark at the back. Right, Phil, let's go. We'll head her off at the pass. I've always wanted to say that.
Is that it now?
Yes, it's just behind that cairn. We always carried a stone up in each hand as a kind of penance. You know, I really don't like crows. I never have.
And I certainly don't like the way they behave. Come on, hurry up.
What is it? What's happened?
Oh, God. You'd better not look.
Oh, no. Oh, my God, no. Joshua!
Looks like somebody's done more than penance with the stone.
Okay, settle down. Right, we're ready to charge now, as I suppose you know. Mr. Bothwell's confirmed the fingerprints on the stone in Joshua's blood. We haven't got an ID for him yet, but we're working on that. However, the prints belong to one Emma Crane, and the £700 found in her backpack by PCs Hamilton and Piper put her in the frame for the Connolly murder as well. The Bible page torn out of her own copy, again in her backpack, also gives her a case to answer. You happy with that, Ray?
Well, sir, we still don't know the details of her night ride to Cambridge Street or how she administered the drugs, but she might tell us once she knows we've got her for Joshua's murder.
Yes. Well, you know Dr. Reynolds believes the skull fracture wasn't fatal. He's still working on it, but he thinks there's evidence that Joshua was being fed, or at least kept alive, for several days. Not by the birds of the air, either.
Eh?
It's biblical, Montgomery. Look it up.
Oh. Well, people don't usually tie up dead bodies, I suppose. Why would she do that?
Maybe to punish him.
Power trip. Certainly a family trait. We've notified the Cranes, incidentally, but I doubt if we'll see them.
You know what puzzles me, sir, is why she wouldn't just kill him outright. I mean, If he was involved with Connolly, surely the Leviticus thing applies to both of them. Hey, and there's another point. These people are supposed to believe their bodies are just empty shells. So what's the difference if this Joshua was AC/DC?
You want to answer that, WPC Williams? I think Montgomery's looking for logic and reason.
And I'm not?
Sorry.
Anyway, deep down, I don't think Emma Crane believes any of it. Not like Alison. She's completely convinced. But for Emma, it's power.
Yes.
Yes. She's seen her father use religion like that all her life. And I think she was obsessed with Joshua. Fanatically. Love isn't the right word for what she felt. She could even persuade herself he was really hers, or could be made hers. I think that's why she tried to keep him alive, and I think that's why she killed Connolly. In a way, that would get rid of Alison at the same time. Finding out that Alison was going to have Joshua's child was just the last straw. I don't think she'll say anything more now, to be honest. She doesn't care.
So we might never get the full story.
It's possible.
Well, I can't let this pass without noting some good, solid police work. Not least from DC Montgomery. Well done.
Well done.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, don't look so surprised. And I take it we can release the Tresize girl. Any problems with that?
No, I think we can safely let her loose. She ought to see a doctor, though. She needs care and attention, and I don't just mean her head.
Fine, okay. But Montgomery?
Well, I was just going to say, sir, I knew it wasn't Alison.
Stop it.
I'm not doing nothing. Oh, Debbie. Oh.
Gary, no. Oh, somebody's coming.
Oh, come here. Where were we?
Don't, Gary.
What's the matter?
It's like Sucky Hall Street in here. The world and his mother keep walking through.
Come on, then. We'll go to the back court.
It's freezing out there.
Oh, don't you worry. I'll keep you warm.
What was that?
Stood in a stupid car.
No wonder. It's pitch black out here.
Just the way I like it. Oh, you want my jacket?
Oh, it's okay.
Come on. Behind the bin shed. Get out the wind.
Very romantic. Oh,
what are you doing?
Oh, I fell over something.
Big feet.
Ah! Ah!
Craig,
oh,
it's a body.
Oh my God!
Mrs. phone the police. There's a woman down here.
Well, how's your curry?
Yeah, it's not bad, Elka.
I told you you'd like Parsi. It's very different. Have a bit of naan bread.
It's quite fruity, isn't it? Very tasty.
Thank God, I've weaned you off korma at last. Oh, no. Do you want to get that for me, Ray?
Will do. Hello. Hey? Yeah, it's me.
What?
Yeah. What, now? All right, OK, can't be helped. I'm on my way.
On your way where?
Townhead. Woman's body's been found in a back court. Looks like a 4-1.
Ray, you're not on graveyard shift.
Yeah, they're short-handed. Abernethy didn't come in. He's got this flu bug.
Oh, no. That's Hamilton and then King and now Abernethy.
Don't know who's none too pleased.
Well, they can't help being ill.
No, he thinks you should crawl in on your hands and knees. Look, I'd better leave the rest of this and get over there. If you stick it back in the container, I'll heat it up later.
Sure.
If I'm late, don't wait up for me.
Well, I won't be in bed before 2. The late-night movie's got Mel Gibson in it.
Oh, well, I can't compete, can I?
I wouldn't say that.
Yes?
Good evening. Mrs. Boyd, is it? Police. Detective Constable King.
Oh, aye. Oh, it's a terrible thing, eh? It was me that phoned you. Oh, see if I don't get out of this clothes, I'll go off my feet. Imagine, a dead body in the back court.
I was wondering if you'd heard anything unusual.
No till they heard me Davy screaming. Oh, the poor lassie's no worth a button. Oh, it would have finished me bad about it, I can tell you.
Were you in all evening?
Oh, aye. Oh, he'll no move his arse out of that chair. Oh, here, you're no riding that doon, are you?
No.
Oh, no, what was I saying? Oh, that's why I had to go down to the back court myself. He'll no move.
Right. So when were you down there?
The night. That's what I'm saying. If it had been me that had found it, you'd have been taking away 2 bodies.
And what time was this?
Now, let me think now. Well, I asked him to go down to the midden just after we'd had our tea. The rubbish was falling out the pedal bin. He wouldn't go because he wanted to see Blind Date. I says, God, I must have been blind the night I met you. Talk about a lazy gate.
So you went down yourself then?
Aye. Well, I didn't have any option, did I?
So what time did you go down?
Well, after Noel's house party, I never missed that. I mean, I'm married to Mr. Bobby. He was trying to shove his beer cans in the pedal bin and broke the lid. That's the second one he's done that tea, cramming everything in. I saw Ed, I'm telling you. I'll empty the bloody thing myself, I says, and do away.
So that would be...
well, just a 4-9. He says, you can't go down the news, dark. I could have been murdered down there for all he cared. I mean, I don't have to tell you what this place is like. You can't even let the grandmaids play in the back court. There's used needles everywhere, and the fence is all broke at the back. So every Tom, Dick and Harry can come in. They don't even need to come through the close.
Do you get people using it as access from Keir Street?
Access? Oh, that's a new one for it. Aye, the Hoors use it. They come in for the mains sometimes. Oh, it's a disgrace. I've phoned your lot umpteen times, but it doesn't stop them.
So, did you see anything when you went down?
No, thank God. Oh, if there had been a body there, I'd have seen it, and you wouldn't have been getting any sense out of me, they knew, I can tell you.
I hope you're not coming down with this flu bug, sir.
No, it's the surgical spirit. Catches the back of the throat now and again. Occupational hazard. You're a bit undermanned, I hear.
About half strength by the last count. I'm just hoping we can manage to cope with this young lady.
Yes, it fairly puts your wee colds and coughs into perspective when you see something like this. Found in the small hours of this morning, I'm told, in a bin shelter.
Well, beside it, sir, yes. Dr. Chan attended the locus for the preliminaries.
Oh, well, I'm grateful for that. I think he estimates the time of death between 10:30 and midnight. And I wouldn't quarrel with that. And the hypostasis would suggest that she died very near where she was found. Certainly hadn't been moved any distance after death.
What about cause of death, sir?
Strangulation, I'm fairly sure. I'll need to do the usual tests, of course, but at this moment that would be my best guess. You can see for yourself. Severe bruising around the throat. Choked to death, I'd say. Not some kind of ligature. Bare hands. The finger marks are very clear. And from the spread... big hands, too. You haven't identified her yet?
No, sir. Seen her crime boys found very little on her. Quite literally.
Yes, there's not much under the trench coat, is there? It's not the sort of lingerie you buy across the counter at Marks. I'd say she was in her early 20s. You may not get much further at the moment. At this point, I'd expect to be thinking about dental records, but... she seems to have had no work whatever done on her teeth, no fillings or extractions.
I didn't think that was possible.
Oh, aye. Well, she might well have had them coated with Fisher sealant, if you've heard of that.
No.
Well, it's not that uncommon. Strathclyde school dentists have been recommending it for years now, with a pretty high take-up rate.
Well, that's not much help, then. The only lead we have, in fact, is a prayer leaflet, of all things.
Really? She's hardly dressed for church.
Well, it's the only thing she had. In a raincoat pocket, a leaflet from some monastery or abbey or whatever, somewhere near Perth. Cross Garden.
Oh, yes, I've heard of that. You drive past it in the scenic route to Dundee. Yes, well, that might be useful, eh? Not something these young ladies would normally carry in their pockets, I should think. Oh, the other thing you might make some headway with, Sergeant, is here. You see? Inside of the thigh. Very discreet.
Tattoo? What is that, a butterfly?
Good quality work, too. Main thing is, it's recent. The skin's still raised around the needle marks, which means it's been done within the past few days. No other needle marks, as far as I can see, which is a bit unusual.
Well, the tattoo should be a help.
Yes, good. Well, I'll fax in a full report, probably early tomorrow.
I'd be grateful, Doctor.
Hey, you know, just looking at her, Nice looking girl, what, 20, 21? This is where she ends up. I was going to say, I wish these girls knew what risk they were taking, but I'm afraid they do.
So the Cairnley Street case is a confirmed 4-1.
Yes, sir, no question of it. Dr. Reynolds is sending up the forensic report tomorrow morning.
And meanwhile, we've got what?
Well, victim unidentified as yet. A female in her early 20s, medium height, black hair. When she was found, she was wearing a trench coat, and underneath that, a black bra, pants and suspenders. Some sort of fake leather material.
What, on the game, do you think?
Well, it's too early to say, sir. There was no sign of sexual assault, but we won't know anything more until Dr. Reynolds has completed his tests.
It'd be a fair assumption, though, wouldn't it, sir?
Cairnley Street's right on the edge of the red light district.
Some of the neighbours were complaining about that, sir. Apparently they got a petition to try and force the landlord to install a closed entry system. It seems the girls are in the habit of taking their clients into the back close when the lanes are, in full production.
Yeah. So she might well be a prostitute.
Well, that's how it looks, sir, but I'm not so sure. When they've got to be out on the street all night, they don't usually dress like that.
That's a fair point. And time of death between 10:30 and midnight, I see. After the pubs have cleared. At least some of them. Seen a crime find anything at the locus?
Well, they're still there, sir, but they haven't come up with much so far.
The two leads we have, sir. One is a tattoo on the girl's leg, a butterfly design. Done very recently, according to Dr. Reynolds.
Right, Richard. You can take yourself round the tattoo parlours.
Yes, sir. I've drawn up a list of them.
The other thing is a leaflet that was found in the girl's pocket, stamped with the name of Cross Garden Abbey.
Yes? It's in Perthshire, isn't it?
Yes, about 4 or 5 miles out of Perth.
So, someone checking it out?
DC Montgomery's already on his way, sir.
Good.
Oh, and we've cleared it with Tayside.
Well, you hear that, Richard? Procedure.